All right, Tennessee Titans fans, it is time for the game preview of the Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo this Sunday, and I'm going to tell you this is going to be the week. This is going to be the week that not one expert picks the Titans. It is destined this week. I cannot imagine that anyone is going to pick the Tennessee Titans to win this game.
Tennessee Titans on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills this week. 4-2 now after stopping a brief two-game skid.
Across the goal line, and he's in for a quarterback sneak touchdown for Buffalo.
Josh Allen swaggers into this one off a nice showing and with a nice new WR1. The Bills trading for Amari Cooper, who's...
Amari Cooper just picked up by the Bills a couple days ago. You know how this stuff goes. I don't know how involved he's going to be in what they do. However involved he's going to be, they're not going to say. I mean, they'd be crazy to be like, okay, we've got about 10 plays that we can do with it. They're not going to let you know. They're going to leave that a mystery intentionally. And, it varies by guys. Some guys come in and they're a big part of the game immediately. Some guys, they slowly...
ready to see what it's like to play for a real quarterback. I mean, a real good quarterback. Doesn't have great numbers in 2024 for obvious reasons. His resume, though, speaks for itself.
Bro, the shade thrown at Deshaun Watson. He's catching strays in a video that ain't even about his team.
First and goal, fake to Foreman. There it is. Watson, end zone, touchdown, Cooper.
Allen in Buffalo's most recent win, 19-25 passing, 8.6 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, no INTs, a rating over 125, and he did that against a very tough Jets secondary.
Allen heaves it. Ray Davis comes up with the catch in midfield. Holy mackerel!
While this matchup may seem lopsided, Allen does take on another tough secondary, tough defense really. Tennessee is 10th in points per game allowed, top 5 good on third down and in the red zone.
Loss of 2, back to the 4.
Goodness gracious.
And when it comes to passing attacks, Tennessee's holding quarterbacks to an 82.9 rate.
Tennessee's defense is good, but I will say they have not faced a test like Josh Allen so far. You had the Bears week 1 with Caleb Williams and a rookie in his first game. You had the Jets in week 2. Snoop Huntley and the Dolphins after he'd only been there a couple of weeks. Malik Willis and the Packers, and he toasted them. And then this week you had the Colts with Joe Flacco, who is playing well, but they ain't faced nobody like Josh Allen.
Rating tied for 10th lowest. They held Joe Flacco to a measly 5 yards per attempt, picked him off sub-80 rating.
Titans' first interception of the year. Amani Hooker.
Titans pass rush, Allen will try and dodge. 0 sacks week 6, only have 9 on the year.
I was about to say, what pass rush? I mean, the Titans cannot get to the quarterback at all. I mean, we expected Denard Wilson, the defensive coordinator, to really be aggressive in blitzing, and he really hasn't. So I don't know why that is, but if you're going to start being aggressive and start blitzing like crazy, this would be the week to do it.
Allen has only taken 8 sacks in his 6 games, faced an average pressure rate. Bills got back wide receiver Khalil Shakir last week, just 19 yards. No Buffalo receiver comes in with eye-popping stat sheets. 4 guys had 25 to 55 yards versus the Jets. Dalton Kincaid, Allen's most targeted guy, 51 yards.
Here's Kincaid. First down, Buffalo.
Titans, for what it's worth, holding tight ends to a 74 rate, 5th lowest. They also have to play the run well based on Buffalo's latest showing, and they've done so, holding running backs to the 3rd lowest yard per carry average at 3.3.
And he's blown up. This Tennessee defense was not fooled.
Will they face James Cook? Have to see if he's back this week. He was out hurt.
Either way, I think it's the type of thing where the Titans defense can at least kind of keep them in this game. Keep it within a reasonable amount to where you're not, hopefully not going into the 4th quarter down by 30 or something. I think their defense is good enough to keep them around, but I do not buy that their offense is good enough to capitalize on it.
Not, they get Ty Johnson, Ray Davis. Johnson, 8.5 yards per carry on 4 tries. Davis, 97 yards, 4.9 per run.
It goes to Davis, and back he goes inside the 1.
Ground game, the respectable aspect to Tennessee's offense right now. Bills defense gets Tony Pollard, 93 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, a touchdown last week.
Pollard in the end zone!
He could keep it going if Buffalo doesn't fix some things with their run defense. They gave up 113 yards, 6.3 a run to Breece Hall.
Breece Hall took off. First and goal, Jets at the 3.
If that's not incentive to run all game, this is. Pollard averaged 5.5 per rush attempt. Will Levis...
Tell me why it's an incentive for the Titans to just run all game. As all due respect to Tony Pollard, all due respect to the offensive line and how good the run game has been for Tennessee, it's the only thing they've got. I mean, it's the only thing. With Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, all of those weapons on the outside, the only thing that we can properly do is run the ball. And we all know why.
Averaged 3.5 per pass attempt versus the Colts.
Boyd again, right on cue, gets his second straight catch.
95 yards. Their passing attack, the primary reason they are...
That's vomit-inducing. Just to hear that we had 95 yards passing against the Indianapolis Colts, who had been one of the worst defenses in the league up until then. 95, like, that is so embarrassing. It's been 4 days since the game as I record this, and I am just still infuriated. It's just unbelievable. It's bad at another level.
30th on third down, 21st in points per game.
This ball dies, but very fortunate that wasn't another interception.
Levis targeted Calvin Ridley 8 times, didn't complete one pass to him. Ridley was targeted 8 times. That does not mean the ball actually ended up anywhere near the guy.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. That was just a terrible...
Yeah, I appreciated him saying that because, yes, Calvin Ridley had a bad drop in this game, and that's the play everybody looks at and says, oh, Calvin Ridley. And yeah, Calvin Ridley needs to be better, sure, but don't twist yourself in knots to try to make this something it's not. He was targeted 8 times, and most of those 8 targets were uncatchable balls that shouldn't have even been thrown his way because he wasn't open. I mean, you know, I've said everything I can say.
Throw, it really was.
D-Hop 54 yards at least, rare for a guy to account for more than 50% of his QB's yards.
Wide open, Hopkins, and Levis hit him perfectly.
Making last week's dud even more extraordinary, Levis didn't take a sack and didn't face a high pressure rate. Bills' pass rush comes in off a 3-sack trek. Should have been 4.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 57.
Yeah, I don't like the call at all.
Officiating was atrocious in that Bills-Jets game on Monday night. Just absolutely embarrassing for the league.
Jets-Bills refs, we have Randy Marsh on line 1. He has some great ideas on how to make the game safer. Buffalo's secondary came up with an INT of Rodgers, gave up 2 touchdowns, one that Hail Mary, close to 300 yards because of it.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Good call, touchdown Jets.
Bills' pass defense, though, has been a strength overall, holding quarterbacks to a sub-90 rate this season, under 7 yards per attempt.
Great.
Okay, before we get out of here, a little investigation for you. Got to talk to Titans fans about J.C. Latham and his 5 sacks allowed. First, so you know in this case I didn't mess it up, and hey man, I'm not AI, so it happens. Not this time though, 5 sacks allowed. Saw all the protests though from the fans. I thought since I don't watch a J.C. Latham ISO cam each week, let's take a look. See the 5 bags Next Gen Stats blames him for. Here's the first, week 1 versus Chicago. Pretty clear, he gets beat, Taylor sacks the quarterback.
He was bad week 1 against Chicago. I feel like...
Finally chased down by Darrell Taylor.
Number 2, this is the best one versus the Jets. I mean, yes, the guy Latham was blocking does get the sack.
Levis tripped. He tried to shovel it.
But no, that's not on Latham.
That ball is free, and the Jets have it.
Week 3 says he gave up 3 to Green Bay pass rushers in one game. First to Luke Van Ness.
Lucas Van Ness.
I mean...
Gets beat wide, and it's Van Ness who finishes the job, so that's 2. Then go to the 4th quarter, Latham versus Preston Smith.
Preston Smith there to bring him down.
Okay, Levis rolls away from pressure into the sack, but Smith gets chipped and then Latham doesn't do much to slow him down. I get both arguments, I guess. Last one gives up one to Devontae Wyatt.
And Levis goes down for the 6th time today. Devontae Wyatt.
I think that's why you can't always just look at stat lines. Because I mean, maybe I'm just so down on the quarterback right now that I'm viewing this through a different lens, but I just feel like you got a guy who with no pocket presence, who's holding on the ball too long, who's I don't know. You tell me. I don't know how well you can see it because it's transparent, but I mean, the one against the Jets is laughable. And I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's misleading to say he's given up 5 sacks. It's just, there's a lot more to it than that.
I don't know about that one. Levis held the ball a long time, saw where the pressure was coming from, and he didn't get rid of it. I'm going to say 3 sacks allowed in my book. I'm here for you guys, so when you speak up on something, I'll always do what I can. Hit the...
Respect to this guy for doing that, though, because last week I just assumed he got the left tackle and right tackle confused, and he meant to say Petit Frere instead of Latham. But you know what? He tried to come back and make it right. Latham was bad against Chicago. A lot of his sacks that are documented to him came against Green Bay in Week 3, and I think those can mostly be contributed to the quarterback.
Comments with your thoughts on that and the game, of course. Panel of 10 has no takes on Latham, but they have 10 score predictions.
What'd I tell you? What did I tell you? Oh, this is the week. Let me make this clear where you guys could see it better. There you go. Read it and weep. Jeremiah has the Bills winning 27-20. Wolf has the Bills winning 24-17. Adam Rank, who has for whatever reason been picking the Titans over and over again, he's finally off of that wagon. He's got the Bills winning 30-14. Grant has the Bills winning 24-16. Brooks has the Bills winning 24-20. MJD has the Bills winning 27-16. Gordon has the Bills winning 40-17. Oh my. Shook has the Bills winning 23-16. Edholm has the Bills winning 27-17. Petra has the Bills winning 27-17. I feel like that 24-16, 27-17, that's probably a good guess. I think the Titans are going to struggle offensively in this game. I'll talk about it more tomorrow on Two Tone Talk Podcast at 1 Eastern, noon Central. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all to see nobody pick the Titans. Why would they? Titans are 1-4. The Bills are a much better team, but, you know, anything can happen in the NFL. We'll talk about it all tomorrow. Tighten up.